What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton and this is VW Fitness. I do fitness tech, lifestyle videos, and supplement reviews every single week. If that's something you're interested in, I'm gonna give you guys a quick second to just hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. There you go. That's all it took. I appreciate you guys doing that. We bring all the latest and greatest content to the channel every single week. Today's video is all about cocaine.
Say what?
No, not that kind of cocaine. We're talking about Pure Cut Supps, new cocaine product. I did a full review of their original cocaine pre-workout. You guys can check out the link up here in the card if you want to check that out. But basically, I did a full review of this, and I love this pre-workout, guys. This is not one of those pre-workouts that I took consistently day after day. I think it's kind of one of those things when you really need a good ass kicking, this is the go-to. I've had really good success, really good workouts with this pre-workout, but unfortunately the FDA required the DMHA be taken out of the product. And so when I reached out to Nick with Pure Cut, I asked, what the alternative was going to be, and he basically said that there's going to be an even better product coming, and to stay tuned. So luckily, unfortunately for myself, Nick, I appreciate it, he sent me out a new Pure Cut Supps, grape flavored V2, I will call it, cocaine pre-workout. And I'm very excited for this. Now, as you guys can kind of see, there's some slight differences in the labeling, but really it comes down to the back of the label, and that's really gonna be the biggest thing here. So if you guys are new here, we like to break down the supplement review into 3 different parts. We talk about number 1, price, number 2, the label ingredient breakdown, and lastly, we talk about the taste. Taste is the least important thing to me, guys. I will just completely say that. I say that in pretty much every video, but taste is really just not as important to me as really the price and what I'm getting out of the product. The value is the most important thing to me, and the effectiveness is probably the most important thing to me. And the effectiveness, unfortunately, is kind of one of those things that can be subjective for each and every person. Like I do my workouts typically fasted throughout the week. Someone that's not doing a fasted program is potentially going to feel differently on different things, especially when it comes to like stomach issues, some bloating and that sort of stuff. Let's get right into it, guys. Price, this comes in at $39.99 for 30 full servings. That is an incredibly well-rounded price point, and I believe that for what you're getting in the label and in the effectiveness, it's totally worth it. So in that regard, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Now, why isn't it getting a 5? Well, it's not under that $1.25, $1.20, like kind of that lower range of $1 price range per serving. But again, that's subjective because the label, which I'll get into here in a second, is incredible, and I already know the effects from the original, so I'm even more excited to kind of give the V2 a try. So let's get right into the label, guys. We start out with a 15.9 gram scoop. I do like a bigger scoop, but really for me, it comes down to the amount of actives that are in the scoop. Obviously, sometimes it can be a lot of fillers, that sort of thing, and obviously proprietary blends, and that whole thing is a whole nother mess. But essentially, let's get right into this label, guys. We start out with 4.5 grams of citrulline malate. Now, I've talked about citrulline malate versus citrulline before. I have my own opinion on it. For me personally, I like citrulline, regular citrulline, more than the citrulline malate. That's just personal preference for me. I think a lot of people, it's kind of 50-50, kind of a toss-up. And the other thing here, guys, for me personally, I'm supplementing citrulline every single day, upwards of 10 grams every day, okay? That's whether I work out or not. Like, I'm drinking my HydroCharge and drinking citrulline every day. So for me, the citrulline in a product is not really a big thing, but I know a lot of you guys are probably not, supplementing citrulline on the side. So 4.5 grams, that's right around where I kind of typically see citrulline malate. So usually it's like 4, sometimes even less. 4.5, that is a good amount. It's just gonna depend on the person. So yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. Personal preference. You guys can kind of make your own informed decision. Moving right along, we have 3.5 grams of beta-alanine, and I'm pretty sure I said this in my last video on the original cocaine here. I definitely got the beta-alanine tingles. And it's so interesting to me when it comes to beta-alanine because sometimes you get 3.2 grams in a lot of these other products, and then you don't really get the tingles, but then you get something that's 2.5 grams of beta-alanine and you really get the tingles. And so it's really interesting. That's why I suggest that you always shake your tubs of pre-workout, make sure everything's mixed up really nicely. The other thing is that different batches can have different amounts. It's kind of one of those really weird things, but honestly, 3.5 grams, more than enough. That is an efficacious dose, and very happy with that. Moving right along, we have 2.5 grams of the betaine anhydrous. Again, efficacious dose, love to see that. 2.5 grams of creatine monohydrate. I know I say this on the channel quite a bit. Talk about creatine, talk about how a lot of these products don't put it in there. And look, I get it for the reasons of people don't want to be bloated, some people don't want to be taking creatine, they're cycling off creatine, you know, that kind of thing. I'm happy to see it in here. I think creatine is one of those things. It's one of the most researched supplements in the world, and I think it should be in a lot of pre-workouts. And for me personally, I am supplementing creatine now. So 2.5 grams. You know, I like to see 5, but again, I'm supplementing creatine on the side now. So 2.5, that's an extra little bonus. I cannot complain with that. So moving right along, we have 350 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. That's a good amount. You know, I like to say for me personally, my medium ground is 300. Anything below that, I kind of sometimes will not feel it as much or as long. You know, my workouts typically last about an hour to an hour and a half. I'm not in the gym, you know, multiple hours. I think, you know, for me personally, that's a good amount of time. So 350 milligrams. Last time I did feel it, I felt really good, no jitters, anything like that. So excited to take another 350. Now this is where things change up a little bit here, guys. 200 milligrams of the Aerogenesis extract, okay? Now, this is the second product that I've used now that has this in it. The first one was right over here with the ESP Extreme, and I was very happy actually with the effects, I guess, of that. And this is an efficacious dose. 200 milligrams is a good amount. And personally, for me, I did feel good. It's kind of one of those feel good, not nootropic, but you know, mental focus stimulant products. That's what replaced the DMHA in the product. So I'm actually honestly kind of happy about that. I haven't had any negative side effects with taking Aerogenesis in the past, you know, since I've been taking the ESP Extreme. So excited to try it here again. Very excited to do it today. And yeah, moving right along, we have 30 milligrams of synephrine, also known as bitter orange extract. Another stimulant, if you will, and efficacious dose, guys. That's a really good amount. And then lastly, we have the alpha yohimbine at 98%. And that's 3 milligrams, and that's a very good amount. If anything, that's a little bit more than a lot of doses that I typically see in a lot of pre-workouts. All right, guys, so in terms of the label, you can probably guess what my rating is going to be here. It's going to be a solid 5 out of 5 due to no proprietary blends, which I typically don't even do reviews of companies that do proprietary blends. I don't really like it. But this is, I think everything in here is really dosed properly. As you guys may or may not be able to see here, this thing is completely unopened. We're gonna give it an open and give this a shake, get a workout in. So, very grape flavored. Woo. All right, luckily we found the scoop relatively easily. All right, so this recommends 10 ounces of water, which is what we have here, 10 full ounces. We're gonna give this basically 16-gram scoop right there and straight into there. Get that last little bit, Coke. Yeah, cocaine. Gotta get it. Now this is the grape flavor. Interesting, I was kind of expecting a more purple color. Give this a good shake. Yeah, very interesting. So because this is such an interesting color and I was not expecting a kind of darker blue, I am gonna pour this into a clear glass so you guys can see the exact color. Yeah, mixability, really good mixability, typical, a little bit of some grains on the bottom. Kind of bring this up to the camera here. Yeah, kind of a blue color. Interesting color. Kind of smells like a grape, but kind of not super sweet, I guess. Kind of a subdued smell. Cheers. Ooh. Wow, guys, I just gotta say, the guys over at Pure Cut Supps, Nick, your entire team, you guys are watching this, the flavor is 100% on point here. It tastes phenomenal. It honestly tastes like Welch's grape juice, okay? And what I mean by that is that it's not a super thick, like pre-workout, you know, everything mixed really well. And it basically just tastes like juice. Not overly sweet. It really has that kind of natural grape kind of flavor that's not super sweet. It's kind of like a subdued kind of flavor profile. Yeah, you really don't get the sweetness until the very end as you're kind of swallowing it back. But yeah, flavor here, guys, 5 out of 5. I definitely got to hand it to them. Which one do I prefer more, the cotton candy or the grape? To be honest, I don't know. I think Grape's going to take the win here. Grape's going to take the gold medal. In terms of taste, this is going to get a solid 5 out of 5. Solid 5 out of 5. This is really, really good. Really, really refreshing. It just tastes phenomenal. I don't know. I'm not a big grape kind of person. I'm typically more of the lemon lime, kind of a lighter or fruit punch flavor. But this grape is, I think, right on the mark. All right, guys. So I'm going to slam the rest of this. I mean, I just want every last drop. It's so good. Yeah, you know what's interesting is it was originally kind of that blue color, and now it's kind of like a purplish blue. Kind of interesting. I don't know if the camera can see that. It looks kind of dark on the camera, but it's more of like kind of a bluish purple, kind of the violet color from Willy Wonka. I don't know if you guys, yeah, okay. But yeah, guys, overall tastes great. I'm gonna smash this down. We're gonna head downstairs. Got a big shoulder workout. We are still following a Shred app workout plan. I'm very excited to do that, especially today. I'm definitely going to feel the energy, feel the pumps, hopefully, and we'll come back. We'll wrap things up, talking about the effects, if I had any negative side effects, and yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see you guys here in a few minutes. All right, guys, we just finished with that big shoulder workout and obliques. I'll be honest, the workout went really well, extreme focus, and that's kind of what I felt the first time when I took the original Pure Cut Supps cocaine. The second time, definitely more focused, more energy, I would say, more than anything. No negative side effects. I definitely sweat a ton. Total workout time was around 50 minutes with 15 minutes on the Stairmaster prior. And overall, the workout went really well, guys. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this product. It's probably one of my all-time favorite pre-workouts in terms of stims and effectiveness, and honestly, I would highly recommend. Now, one thing I did want to disclaim is that this review is completely unbiased, unpaid, and completely honest when it comes to the review. Now, they did send me the product for free, but they didn't tell me anything to say, and it was completely up to me to make my own honest opinion and to tell you guys. So definitely wanted to let you guys know that that is the case with most all of my reviews. I have never been paid for anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.